Okay, so I have found another little section where this is probably the same error. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And again, you know, what throws me about this is it looks exactly the same. You would have no idea that there was a problem, but evidently there is. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this. Again, I'm going to change it to normal. Now I'm going to, and clearly this is not the ideal way to do it. The ideal way to do it is to, you know, have your normal style, have everything match from the beginning. But if you find yourself in a position like this, where you have to go in and make manual changes, or it's going to be easier to make those manual changes, you just have to make sure you make absolutely all of them. So here, for example, I also have to add my indent of 0.2, which is what I'm using. Okay, now I'm going to go back to here, make sure I covered the right area. Oh, and then let me see if I think I changed that. Okay, yeah, we got single spacing. Okay, so that's good. This looks fine. Now I suspect, because when I was fixing my other book, some of my back matter was actually off. Now that's obviously a problem because I have one file for back matter, and if I keep reusing the same file that has the underlying issues without fixing them, then I'm just going to have to correct it over and over again. So I want to make sure I go in and finish that. Let me put this on pause again. Okay, so you can see here my About the Author section, again, obviously has the same or a very similar error. So I can navigate down to here since I have my document map open. Again, you can see I've got the same, oh, so somehow this is coded as CSP instead of normal. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to normal. And then I'm just going to make my changes manually. And I want to make sure I cover everything. Okay, remove space after paragraph. I want to change my indents. Okay, so now before I do that, see this, it's way easier if you do this correctly the first time. So I added my space there. This one I don't want indented, but I do want to indent these. So now I'm going to have to do this. And this is why it is actually easier if you use the styles, which, believe me, I will be doing from now on. But I'm imagining that that a lot of people are in the same position that I am, where they either didn't know about it or didn't do it correctly or something like that. So I'm hoping this will be useful to somebody. Okay, and then, okay, so this looks fine, but I think I had an issue. Maybe not. Okay. So those were all okay. Okay, good. So I'm going to go ahead and reconvert this, and we'll see if that fixed my problem. Okay, so I finished reconverting, and as you can see, that did in fact solve my problem, which is a tremendous, tremendous relief. So I guess I was right about what the issue was. So that's very, very cool. So that's one thing you can look for if you've already tried everything else and you can't figure out what the heck is going on. Check to see if there's a style issue, and that could be it. Now, the other thing I'm going to recommend is I've noticed that similar things can happen when you're formatting the print books, especially if you're copying and pasting. You know how sometimes you copy and paste and it seems like, well, why isn't it just copying and pasting in the form? You know, I've got the whole document in Times New Roman. Why is it copying in some other thing? I suspect this also has to do with the underlying style issue. So when I find mistakes like that in one file, since I've already made the print file as well, I'm just going to go in and double check, make sure that I didn't run into similar problems with the print file that maybe I didn't catch when I printed it. This looks all right though. This all looks fine. Okay, so that's good. And then I thought there was one other thing I wanted to say about that. Hold on just a second. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to check the my about the author section, and of course, I want to make sure that I go back in and fix my file for this because I have this in a separate file that I'm going to continue drawing it from, or versions of it as I change it. And I want to make sure that I have that correct so that I don't have to fix it every time. So that's it. That's it for the troubleshooting.